Hello everyone, welcome to Kickstart Privacy. In today's video, I'm going to assess the data protection practices in an organization from the data accuracy standpoint, right? And please note that these assessment questionnaires are, mean to provide a general idea of the types of questions you may include in your assessment. It is crucial to tailor them to your organization's specific context, processes, and legal requirements to accurately assess data protection practices and compliance with the relevant data protection regulations. Right? Next. This is the snippet from the GDPR article, specifically article number 51D of the GDPR states that about data accuracy, personal data shall be accurate and where necessary kept up to date. Every reasonable step must be taken to ensure that personal data that are inaccurate, having regard to the purposes for which they are processed, are erased or rectified without delay. Right? This is for your information. Before going into the assessment, I just wanted to ensure the concept, right? Accuracy is one of the key principles related to the processing of personal data. The accuracy principle emphasizes the importance of keeping personal data correct and up to date. Here is what this means in practice. Accuracy: organizations must ensure that the personal data they hold is accurate. This is particularly crucial when the data can have significant implications for individuals, such as data used in decision-making processes. Updating data. Data should be kept up to date wherever necessary. If data becomes outdated, especially if it might result in incorrect decisions being made about someone, then it should be updated. Rectification and erasure. If personal data is identified as being inaccurate and the inaccurate data can be verified, the GDPR places an obligation on organizations to rectify or erase it without unnecessary delay. Individuals also have the right to request the rectification of their personal data if it's inaccurate or incomplete under Article 16 of the GDPR. Reasonable steps. The principle acknowledges that ensuring complete accuracy in all cases can be challenging. However, organizations are expected to take every reasonable step to maintain the accuracy of personal data. Now let's start the assessment. I have 10 questions to review. The first question is personal data regularly reviewed and updated to ensure its accuracy and relevance? This question is probing the regulatory and systematic approach of an organization towards maintaining the accuracy of the personal data it holds. It's asking if there are ongoing efforts to continuously revisit and possibly revise personal data to ensure it is current and still applicable, right? Let's see the options are: yes, personal data is regularly reviewed and updated. B, no, personal data is not regularly reviewed or updated. Option C, some personal data is reviewed and updated, but improvements are needed for regulatory, sorry, regulatory and comprehensiveness. Option 4, regular review and update of personal data accuracy have not been assessed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain the option A, why I have selected, and with some scenario, and I'm going to give you explanation of the answer. I'm not going to spend more time on the rest of the options. I would say it's still a risk. Okay. So before start your assessment, make sure or during your assessment, these are the status you would see at the end of the review. Okay. So please ensure your organization status as per option A, then you are compliant. So option A says the personal data is regularly reviewed and updated. If your organization status, as per option A, this response implies that there is a consistent, routine process in place for checking and updating personal data. This would generally include removing outdated information, correcting errors, or adding new information as necessary. One scenario here, every time a patient visits a hospital, they verify their personal data. Quarterly audits also are in place to ensure data accuracy. So that means the personal data is regularly reviewed and updated. There is a process in place. So explanation here is regularly reviewing and updating personal data ensures its accuracy and relevance, reducing the risk of processing incorrect or outdated information. Let's move on to the next question, number 2. Are data collection processes designed to capture accurate and complete personal data? So this question is inquiring about the design and intentionality of an organization's data collection methods. Right. It wants to know if from the start the systems and the procedures that collect personal data are structured in a way that to ensure both accuracy and completeness of that data. Let's understand the options. Option A, yes, data collection processes are designed to capture accurate and complete personal information. Option B, no, data collection processes do not prioritize accuracy and completeness. Option C, some data collection processes capture accurate data, but improvements are needed for completeness. Option D, design of data collection processes has not been assessed for accuracy and completeness. So let's go with the option A as an answer. Yes, data collection processes are designed to capture accurate and complete personal data. So this option indicates that the organization has intentionally structured their data collection mechanisms to ensure both the precision and the fullness of the data they gather. So if your organization status as per option A, so that means they have the processes in place and they have designed to capture the accurate and complete personal data. The rest of the options are the status of your organizations are in risk. are at risk. One scenario here, when a user sign up on a website, they are guided through a step-by-step process, complete with the data validation checks, mandatory fields, and tool tips explaining why certain information is needed. So if you have such validation mechanisms, and what the users have to choose, whether it is a mandatory field or optional field, and there are tips explaining why such information is really needed, then that means you are following the process, and the website is designed to capture such accurate personal information. So the explanation is, designing data collection processes to capture accurate and complete personal data promotes data accuracy from the outset, reducing the need for subsequent corrections. Right? Let's move on to number 3. Is there a process in place to verify the accuracy of personal data at the time of collection? So that means the core of this question focuses on whether an organization takes proactive measures right at the beginning, when they first collect personal data, to make sure that the data they are gathering is accurate. By verifying data at the point of collection, organizations can reduce errors and inconsistencies right from the start. Let's see, the options are: option A, yes, there is a process to verify the accuracy of personal data at the time of collection. Option B, no, there is no process to verify the accuracy of personal data at the time of collection. Option C, some verification process exists, but improvements are needed for consistency and effectiveness. Option D, verification of personal data accuracy at the time of collection has not been assessed. So, if your organization status as per option A, there is a process to verify the accuracy of personal data at the time of collections, that means it suggests that the organization actively checks the accuracy of data as soon as it is collected. This could involve cross-referencing data with other sources, using software tools to detect anomalies, or manually reviewing entries. And of course, if your organization status as per option B, C, or D, it is at risk. Let's understand a scenario here. An online e-commerce platform requires users to enter their shipping address when creating an account. Before accepting the address, the platform automatically checks the entered address against a postal service database to confirm its validity. Right? So the explanation here is, implementing a process to verify the accuracy of personal data at the time of collection helps ensure that the corrected and reliable information is obtained, minimizing the need for subsequent data corrections. Right? Let's move on to question number 4. Are data validation techniques utilized to ensure the accuracy of personal data? So this question is concerned with determining whether an organization uses specific methods or tools to ensure that the personal data they collect or process is accurate. That data validation is essential because it ensures that the data is reliable, correct, and useful. Right? Let's see, the options are: option A, Yes, data validation techniques are utilized to ensure data accuracy. Option B, no, data validation techniques are not used to ensure data accuracy. Option C, some data validation techniques are used, but improvements are needed for wider application. And option D, use of data validation techniques for data accuracy has not been assessed. And if your organization status as per option A, so this option indicates that the organization uses specific methods like software tools, manual checks or rules to ensure that the data they handle is accurate. And of course, the B option B, C, and D, um, it is again at risk. This approach, can be risky because there is a higher likelihood of inaccurate data being used for decision making or other purposes, right? So, a scenario here to understand: a banking application requires users to input their social security number during the registration process. The system the system uses a validation rule to ensure that the SSN entered is in the correct format, right, and checks it against a national database to ensure it's legitimate. So, employing data validation techniques such as automated checks or validation rules helps identify and correct inaccuracies or inconsistencies in personal data, maintaining its accuracy. Let's go to the next question, number 5. Is there a process in place to rectify or update inaccurate or incomplete personal data? So, this question seeks to determine whether an organization has established formal procedures to correct or update any personal data that may be inaccurate or incomplete. Right. Given the importance of accurate data for decision making and compliance, especially under the regulations like GDPR, this is a pivotal question. So the options are: yes, there is a process to rectify or update inaccurate or incomplete data. Option B, no, there is no process to rectify or update inaccurate or incomplete personal data. Option C, some process exists, but improvements are needed for efficiency and effectiveness. Option D, rectification or update process for personal data has not been assessed. And if your organization status as per option A, that means it's compliance, right? So that is why I just wanted to go with option A, and I will explain with a scenario and further explanation. So option A indicates that the organization has a defined and a structured method. For example, a set of steps, a dedicated team, or a software tools, etc. For addressing and amending any inaccuracies or omissions in personal data. So let's understand from the scenario. A telecom company has an online portal where users can log in to view and edit their profile information. Additionally, users can call customer service to report any inaccuracies. The company also sends out yearly reminders to customers to review and update their details, right? And establishing a process to rectify and update inaccurate or incomplete personal data, ensures its accuracy, maintains data quality, and upholds individuals' rights to correct their information. Right? Let's go to the next question, number 6. Are individuals provided with mechanisms to review and correct their personal data? Let's see, the options are: yes, individuals are provided with mechanisms to review and correct their personal data. Option B, no, individuals have no means to review or correct their personal data. Option C, some mechanisms exist, but improvements are needed for accessibility and effectiveness. Option D, provision of mechanisms for reviewing and correcting personal data has not been assessed. And I just wanted to explain the question in detail, right? Are individuals provided with mechanisms to review and correct their personal information? This question actually aims to identify whether an organization has systems or tools in place that allow individuals to access and modify their personal information. Okay. This is crucial for GDPR compliance, as one of the regulations key principle is the right of individuals to access their data and make corrections if needed, right? Please remember that. And as per option A, this indicates that the organization offers tools or systems. For example, a user dashboard, customer portal, etc. is the tool where individuals can easily access their data and make necessary modifications, right? A scenario to understand: an online shopping platform allows users to create personal profiles, right? Within their account setting, users can view all the personal data the platform holds about them and can easily update or correct any inaccuracies. Additionally, the platform has a support team dedicated to handling user data inquiries and corrections. The explanation here is, providing individuals with mechanisms to review and correct their personal data empowers them to ensure the accuracy and completeness of their information, promoting transparency and data accuracy. Let's move on to question number 7. Is there a process in place to notify relevant parties when personal data is corrected or updated? So this question addresses the protocols or systems an organization may have in place when there are corrections or update to personal data. Right, the relevant parties could be the internal teams, stakeholders, data processors, or even the individuals whose data has been updated. Let's see, the options are: option A, there is a process to notify relevant parties when personal data is corrected or updated. Option B, no, there is no process to notify relevant parties about data corrections or updates. Option C, some notification process exists, but improvements are needed for consistency and timeliness. Option D, notification process for data corrections or updates has not been assessed. And if your organization status, as per option A, that means the organization has a clear and defined process to alert necessary parties whenever changes are made to personal data. This could be through email notification, system alerts, or a report, etc. Right. Let's understand from the scenario. An employee of a large corporation updates their emergency contact information on the company's HR platform. Right. The system then automatically sends a notification to the employee's department manager, the health and safety department, and the benefits department, ensuring they are all informed of this change. Right. And the explanation here is notifying relevant parties about data corrections or updates helps ensure the accuracy and consistency of personal data across different systems or entities that rely on the information. Right? Next. Our data quality metrics are indicators monitored to assess the accuracy of personal data. This question inquires about whether an organization actively monitors certain metrics or indicators to determine the quality of personal data they hold. Such metrics or indicators could include things like data error rates, completeness percentages, inconsistency counts, and more. Right? Let's see the options are. Yes, data quality metrics or indicators are monitored to assess the accuracy of personal data. Option B, no, there are no data quality metrics or indicators to assess the accuracy of personal data. Option C, some monitoring of data quality metrics or indicators exist, but improvements are needed for comprehensive assessment. Option D, monitoring of data accuracy using quality metrics or indicators has not been assessed. And if you choose option A, that means the data quality metrics or indicators are monitored to assess the accuracy of personal data. This option signifies that the organization is actively using specific benchmarks or tools to assess the quality and accuracy of the personal data they manage. Right? They have a structured way to keep a check on the data's accuracy. And of course, the rest of the options are as per your current company status, then that means it the company at risk. Let's understand from a scenario. A bank has implemented a data quality dashboard that tracks metrics such as the number of data corrections made by users, mismatches in data across systems, and feedback received from customers about data inaccuracies. Regular reviews of this dashboard allow the bank to identify trends, address issues, and continually refine their data accuracy strategies. Right? And the explanation, monitoring data quality metrics or indicators helps evaluate the accuracy of personal data, identify areas for improvement, and ensure ongoing data accuracy efforts. And let's move on to question number 9. Are data correction requests handled promptly and efficiently? So this question is focused on how an organization or entity manages requests to correct data, which could come from the users, customers, stakeholders, or any other relevant party, right? It aims to ascertain whether these requests are addressed quickly and and without unnecessary resources or steps. So that means promptly and efficiently. Let's see the options are. Yes, data correction requests are handled promptly and efficiently. Option B, no, data correction requests are not handled promptly or efficiently. Option C, some correction requests are handled promptly, but improvements are needed for efficiency. Option D, handling of data correction request has not been assessed for promptness and efficiency. And the answer is yes, the data correction requests are handled promptly and efficiently. This means, this option indicates an organization's commitment to addressing any inaccuracies in their data as soon as they are identified, and doing so in an efficient manner. This efficiency could refer to using minimal resources, streamlined processes, or both. Right? Let's understand from the scenario. An online service platform has a dedicated team and system in place for managing data correction requests. When a user submits a request to correct personal data, the system immediately logs it, notifies the appropriate team, and sets a timeline for resolution. The user is updated regularly on the progress, and the request is usually resolved within a short period. The explanation is handling data correction requests promptly and efficiently demonstrate a commitment to data accuracy, respects individuals' rights, and maintains the integrity of personal data. Right? Next, the question number, final question in this assessment. Are data accuracy practices periodically reviewed and improved based on feedback and data quality assessments? So this question is asking if an organization or entity is routinely checking and enhancing its methods and techniques used to ensure data accuracy. This routine check, it's based on two main inputs. Maybe a feedback. This could come from users, employees, stakeholders, or any party interacting with the data. Feedback can highlight any discrepancies, issues, or areas of improvement, right? The second one is data quality assessments. These are structured evaluations, often using metrics or indicators to measure the quality of data. They help identify areas where the data may be inaccurate or inconsistent. Let's see, the options are: option A, yes, data accuracy practices are periodically reviewed and improved based on feedback and data quality assessments. Option B, no, data accuracy practices are not subject to periodic review or improvement. Option C, some review of data accuracy practices occurs, but improvements are still needed for consistency and effectiveness. Option D, a review and improvement of data accuracy practices have not been assessed. And if your organization status as per option A, so that means they are compliant, about that. And the reason is, this option indicates that there is a proactive and systematic approach to maintain and enhance the data accuracy, right? The organization is both seeking feedback and conducting structured assessments to understand the quality of their data. Based on these insights, they refine their methods, right? And the rest of the options are, if your organization status as per option B or C or D, so that means it is at risk. It is the responsibility of the privacy professional in the organizations to ensure they are in compliant. And good luck with your assessment. Yeah, I forgot this scenario. A healthcare organization conducts quarterly reviews of its data accuracy practices. This involved gathering feedback from staff, analyzing data correction requests, and examining data quality dashboards. Based on their findings, they implement changes to their practices like refining data input methods or introducing new validation checks. So the explanation here is regularly reviewing and improving data accuracy practices based on feedback and data quality assessments helps maintain a high level of data accuracy, ensuring reliable and trustworthy information. With this, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more interesting topics in data privacy and protection. Bye-bye.